As season 3 of Demon Slayer is going along, you probably found yourself asking questions about the love Hashira of Mitsuri Kanroji, whether it's because you find the wholesome nature of her character awesome like I do, or you think that her fighting style is cool, or you're captivated by the fan service aspect of her character. For one reason or another, Mitsuri Kanroji has your mind and your attention, which is why in today's Demon Slayer video, I want to prove to you that this Hashira beauty isn't just a pretty face, but she's also a pretty powerful character as well. So starting off, Mitsuri, just by being a Hashira, is already stronger and more combat skilled than most Demon Slayers. She's one of the 9 pillars for a reason, and given that she's somebody that was taken under the training ring of Rengoku, a pretty powerful Hashira in his own right before he died, that makes even more sense. Her breathing style is the love breathing style, which comes from her experience using the flame breathing form when she trained under Rengoku, but her breathing style is best suited for her, making use out of her beyond human agility and strength, allowing her to carry out long range attacks as well as mid range attacks, making her a bit of a standout when you compare to the other Demon Slayers who are only able to attack as long as their katanas are able to allow them to do. Despite only having 6 months of training under her belt, Kanroji completed the final selection and garnered the praise and the attention of Rengoku. However, as she trained under Rengoku, she realized that she wasn't fighting at her full potential, which led to her making her own unique breathing style, the love breathing form, which has 6 different forms, though in the manga we've only seen her use 5 out of the 6 forms, with only the 4th form not being shown. For this video, one thing we are going to have to take into equation is that Mitsuri Kanroji isn't just the version of her that you see in the Swordsmith Village arc, but she's gotten even stronger since the arc that you're seeing in the anime. Now, that doesn't mean that this version of her in the anime is a pushover or a weakling, but she's weaker than she is in the final arc of the series because of the Demon Slayer Mark Awakening. It's an enormous boost in power, and when you add in the training she did after the fact, that's why she's stronger. However, even before she got her Demon Slayer mark, she was strong enough to take down the demons made by upper rank demon number 5. When she does awaken her Demon Slayer mark, she was able to more than hold her own in battle against upper moon number 4, and in the final arc, she was able to stand against the king of demons, Muzan himself. So you can see there's a pretty decent progression in power in terms of Mitsuri as the series is going on. However, why exactly is she so strong even without the Demon Slayer mark? Well, that phrase, some people are just built different, it actually comes into play here because it literally applies to Mitsuri. See, when she was born, her muscles were 8 times denser and stronger than a normal human being, which gave her superhuman strength. Now you might be thinking, wait, she does look super lean, so where's all this muscle at? To which I would say this is anime. We've seen crazier things happen in anime. This is just anime logic. That's not the sexist explanation, but it does need to be said because the girl started out super strong, and that was before she undertook any training and learned how to use all that power, and then grow even stronger than what she used to be. To give you an idea how strong she was born as, at the age of 13 months old, she was able to lift up a 33-pound stone over her head like it was a toy, which freaked out her mother. However, the drawback to this is that Mitsuri requires a lot of food to eat, so much so that Goku from Dragon Ball and Luffy from One Piece might take a moment to guard the food carefully out of fear that she's going to gobble it up. Mitsuri Kanroji having such advantages in muscular strength gives her an added advantage in battle as well. She's more flexible and more agile than other Demon Slayers in the series, which she incorporates to her advantage in the form of her love breathing techniques. Between the high speed of her range attacks and her flexibility and her agility, Mitsuri is a problem to deal with in battle. This is even more so when you consider her sword moves more like a whip than a traditional sword, which throws off the swordsman who sees her blade for the first time after he saves her, stating that he's heard rumors in the past that such a sword existed, but now that he's seeing it with his own eyes, he's shocked. Now, you might be saying, what kind of anime logic is this? A sword that moves around like a whip. But there is an ancient Indian sword that was described as moving just like this, and it's entirely possible that the inspiration for Mitsuri's sword and its movements came from that said sword. That being said, while she is extremely fast in combat, she's actually the slowest runner out of all the Hashira. But here's the the thing, foot speed is not the same as combat speed. Allow me to explain. Mitsuri might be slower than all the other Hashira, but her attacks are considerably faster than Tengen Uzui, who is literally the fastest of the 9 Hashira. In a battle setting, Mitsuri just goes into a different gear, which is why she be destroying demons before they can even react, and reacting to sound waves at point blank range, and even tanking them at times. Even when it comes to her stamina, she was able to overcome fatigue and injuries in order to rip off Muzen's arm in the final arc of the series. Now let's go even deeper here and look at Mitsuri's strength by looking at some specific feats of strength and speed and skill in the story itself. So in the battle against Upper Moon number 4, which Upper Moon number 4 took out Tanjiro and Nezuko, she was seen easily taking out the surrounding monsters that were about to go into a killing spree. She reacted with speed that left those who saw her stunned, and with the level of strength that made it clear that she was a Hashira, despite her super feminine appearance. However, but when Upper Moon number 4 creates the Zohaku 10 clone, its mere presence was enough that Tanjiro knew he was outclassed, to the point where he had trouble breathing in his presence and experienced physical sensations like his heart causing him physical pain. Essentially, the signs that Tanjiro knew he was dealing with a apex predator that could kill him, which is why it's a good thing that Mitsuri is just built different, because she stepped in to save Tanjiro, and she, despite being in the presence of something like that, had every intention of fighting it alone, and it's due to her fighting style she was able to do as well as she did, which goes back to the advantages of her body being built the way that it was. Though it is worth noting, she does get help from Tanjiro in this battle, because Tanjiro is going after the main body, but the main body of Upper Moon number 4 is actually weaker than the clone that you're seeing. Now, another thing about this too is that she is stated to be the only person who can use her katana, because its range of motion will slice apart anyone who tries to use it, because they don't have her insane agility and flexibility. During this battle, she's slicing up the wooden dragon that's attacking her using various love breathing techniques, and she hasn't got so much as a scratch on her, something that Tanjiro and even Nezuko couldn't make the claim for, which again just shows that she's on a different level. And the craziest thing about this is that we hadn't even seen her full power yet. Mitsuri's battle against Upper Moon number 4's hatred clone is a huge testament to her power, and given that she was able to wrap her blade around its neck at one point, just shows you how big the gap is between herself and Tanjiro, and even Tengen Uzui in terms of battle strength is absolutely significant, since, as a reminder, Tengen Uzui was fighting against Upper Moon number 6 with quite a bit of help in the form of his wives and Tanjiro and Nezuko and other characters, and the Tanjiro who is now struggling against Upper Moon number 4 and feeling like he can't breathe and having heart pains in the presence of the hatred clone, this Tanjiro is even stronger than he was back then. The fact that Tanjiro was stunned by her speed in battle further cements what we went over earlier, which is that her combat speed is greater than Uzui's, which after the last season of Demon Slayer, you have a really good idea of how fast Uzui is in combat. So take what you saw and realize that in combat, Mitsuri is even faster than Tengen. Had she actually been fighting the real Upper Moon in this scenario, she would have gotten the W here in a short period of time. However, even after she takes a point blank range sound attack that should have done enormous damage on the body, Mitsuri was still able to fight, with the hatred clone even saying that she shouldn't even be whole after taking this attack, meaning that she should have been bisected at the least, which goes back to her hitting the genetic lottery and it being in her favor, because her body having as much muscle as it is, again 8 times that of a normal human, is why she was able to survive this attack. Granted, she was stunned afterwards, but she was able to recover and then get back up and start back fighting later on. In the second round against the hatred clone, she raises her heartbeat and her blood flow to gain even more power to take down the hatred clone, and the clone notices right away that despite being as injured as she was, she's now moving much faster than before, and it absolutely alarms him. Unbeknownst to him, Mitsuri has awakened her Demon Slayer mark, which gives an enormous boost in power to the Demon Slayers who awaken it. To give you guys an idea of how big of a power increase this is, we're gonna have to compare this to, say, Naruto getting 6-pass Sage Mode from Hagoromo, 6-pass power from having the 9 Biju, and getting an additional boost in power from Hagoromo's Chakra Seal. Naruto scaled up several tiers in power just in those amps. Well, the Demon Slayer mark is a very similar increase. The Demon Slayer mark Mitsuri is strong enough and fast enough that she can arguably have been said to have gotten really close to her mentor Rengoku in power, with it needing to be noted that Rengoku having held its own against Upper Moon number 3, which is stronger than Upper Moon 6, 4, and 5, and despite having to worry about Tanjiro and all the innocent people around him, he was actually pressuring Upper Moon number 3. However, we can say for certainty that she surpassed Tengen Uzui in power here. After the Hashira training takes place and she enters in the battle with Muzan, while the Hashira she's fighting alongside are doing better than her and she's beginning to fall behind them, she's still more than holding her own against Muzan, who is in possession of a hack that's an absolute cheat code. The moment that he's attacked, he's already being healed before the next attack can land on him, and his fighting style is meant to put the Demon Slayers at a disadvantage. And when Muzan's power takes another leap forward, moving attacks that are so fast that she literally can't see them, she's just operating off a sheer instinct to stay alive and dodging the attacks off of instinct, which is also a testament to her power and skill, because this is the king of the demons, and she would eventually be taken down by having her face sliced up, and she eventually ends up dying after the battle with Muzan is over. While that is the end of her battle per se, we do have to look at one more thing, which is the specifics of her love-breathing form. As previously stated, it makes use out of her superhuman agility and flexibility, allowing her to cover a wide motion and attack from a distance. The first form is called Shivers of Love, which is a speed blitz dash that fires off an extended whip slash at the target. The second form is called Love Pangs, which releases multiple whip slashes all around herself. The third form is Cat Love Shower, which sees her leap into the air and deliver arch slashes at a rapid back and forth motion in order to attack. The fifth form is called the Swaying Love, which has her somersault through the air backwards to unleash the attacks. The sixth form is Cat Leg Wings of Love, which sees her twirl through the air upside down and fire slashes at the enemy. Then she retracts the slashes and she fires them off back to back again. Finally, because she did train under Rengoku, she can use the flame breathing, but she can't fight to her full potential while using it. However, with that being said, this does show you that Mitsuri is more than just a pretty face. She's also pretty strong as well. However, if you enjoyed this video, make sure to subscribe and check out these other anime videos you see on the screen right now.